Self-quarantining.
And a quarantine order.
Quarantined in their...
Held in quarantine.
Quarantine.
The quarantine in place.
Quarantine for the required 14 days.
Hey, what's up, people? I am JC, and this is the QT, aka Quarantine Talks. Today, I am joined by Miss Rhea Davis. She is a publicist based in LA by my mama's hometown state, Carolina, with Atlanta, Georgia roots, all right? We talk about her upbringing and how her mother is also a journalist and will give her press passes to major events with one stipulation: don't come back without a story. Shout out to Miss Diana. Y'all mamas ain't as cool as her. We also talk about her move from Atlanta to California and how she's managed to avoid LA traffic. Hint, it's not as complex as you might think. And then we discuss this debate between productivity and mental health in quarantine. Plus, she tells the story of the one time she fanned out while meeting Jay-Z and Beyonce at the surprise birthday party Alicia Keys threw for Swiss Beats. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, that is a flex. It is the size of Hulk Hogan and or The Rock. That's a flex. All right, so we're about to get into this episode, but first,
eyelashes on, you a whole different girl.
To a man.
He like, you look a little different.
Right, we wouldn't notice it. I will say that because now that I started paying attention, like with my sister or something like that, I'd be like, something is
different.
Something is missing. She's like, I ain't put my eyelashes on. Oh, that's what it is. But like,
they looking real sleep.
But men ain't gonna be like, you know, the average man ain't gonna be like, you know what, babe? When I met you, you was wearing them 13-inch eyelashes, and now you're not. That 3B, you was wearing 3B eyelashes, and now you're not. And I just feel like the things that you did to get me, you need to do to keep me. Like the average nigga is not fit to do that. Like it's not something that it's gonna happen. Like I could be wrong, but I don't know. Anyway, but so wait, we gonna get into the interview now. I was recording some of this, by the way, because it's funny. I knew it was gonna be funny. I knew it was gonna be funny. So I know y'all might be wondering who I'm talking to. It is Miss Rhea Davis. Welcome to Quarantine Talks, ladies and gentlemen. I am JC, and you kind of could probably get a little bit of a sense of who she is. But Miss Rhea, go ahead and tell the people who you are, what you do, and where you're from.
I'm a journalist and publicist. I'm from Charlotte, North Carolina. Mm-hmm. I always got to rep the A too, because I always say Charlotte raised me, Atlanta made me, LA pays me. Mm-hmm. So if it wasn't for Atlanta, Atlanta is my career. Like that really, I feel like I earned my stripes. So sometimes I'm on the journalist side, and sometimes I am on the publicist side. No, it just depends on the second of the day. Okay. The second.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so, well, I have a question though, because you said NC, Atlanta, LA. So why did you do LA versus NYC? Why'd you go out west instead of going north?
I struggle with two things right now. So I struggle with everything happens for a reason. Okay. And what's meant to be will be. But also versus did I fuck up? Was it me? Mm-hmm. I was supposed to go to New York. And I've never been a fearful person. I believe heavily on stepping out on faith. Take calculated risk. That's who I've always been. So, but in the back of my mind, oftentimes I'll be like, man, I ain't scared. I'm about to do this. It'll work out. Mm-hmm. I'll land on my feet. But also, I think a little bit when I was in Atlanta, it was like, oh, but you don't have a job. And where are you going to stay? In New York. So I think sometimes I got comfortable. Mm-hmm. And the cost of living in Atlanta is better. And I am a Southern girl. And I'm really upset with myself because my sister lived in New York for 6 years. So that was the time. Now she's at home with a family and a baby. She is not thinking about New York. She's not trying to do New York. Mm-hmm. And if I was going to have a roommate and roommate culture, because I don't like roommates and believe in that because I just want to be by myself. Exactly. But that would have been the person to be a roommate with, and that would have been the time. That would have been my tour guide. And I had a lot of connections in New York too. So I'm still struggling with why didn't you do that? Like you were supposed to. Why didn't you ever go? You would have figured it out. You would have got a job, even if you had to work somewhere that you didn't want to work. in addition to the freelancing for media, you are a figure it out person. Very rarely do you hear people go LA to New York. It's usually New York to LA. Now, if you get a huge opportunity, then by all means. But right. I'm trying to figure out a way to do 6 months there. Okay. 6 months, I don't know. 6 months don't go by. A year goes by fast. Yeah. But I'm still trying to figure out. I used to go to New York a lot, but I used to come to LA all the time. So then it felt like you can have your car. And I'm a person who hates driving but loves driving. So I'm not going to do your road trips, but like driving around the city is therapeutic. So if I want to come visit you, I need to be able to throw everything in the trunk. And in New York, I'm not about to have my whole life on the subway. I'm just not ready for that.
Okay. I mean, because like LA traffic is legendary. And
they say that, but I've only been in it twice. I know it's crazy. I know. I've only been in it twice since I lived here. And maybe 3 times. And then before I lived here.
That's an everyday thing, though. How do you avoid LA traffic? What are the secrets?
I live Vermont is between at least 2 highways. I'm right near the 101 too, but I work a lot from home. Then if I'm going to Hollywood, even during traffic time, Hollywood is like 5 to 10 minutes from me, depending on what part of Hollywood I'm going to. Downtown is 8 to 10 minutes from me, even in traffic. Okay. Like, that's just period. So, Koreatown...
You do live pretty central. That's what I was thinking about. Like,
that's what I appreciate about it. So for me, I'm already central, so I don't have a huge problem. And I'm not commuting, because I'm working from the house.
That makes sense. I never thought about it like that. Okay, but when you say it like that, it makes a lot of sense. I'm like, how the hell you ain't been
one time it took me... I was in an Uber pool, and it took me 2.5 hours to get back from Santa Monica. Never again.
Hell yeah. Oh, you did good, depending on the time of day.
I was going to cry, because like, you hear about the horror stories, but I was like, no, it's no way you're in traffic 2 hours. Yes. And then the Uber pool made it probably worse. I should have just Uber back, but I just was like, oh, well, I'm coming from Santa Monica. Like, I was like, am I ever going to get home? I had never seen it like that in my life.
Get back to the PR journalist side. So you work with All Hip Hop still? Mm-hmm. Okay, so like, what is the day-to-day like being a journalist?
It's interesting. I think every outlet varies, and I also think every contractor person can vary your role. I have my situation a little unique. I've been with them since 2011, so I don't write as much today. I never really like writing. I can write great pieces, but when people meet you, they're like, "Oh, you're a journalist, so you write." They just think it's one facet. It's like, I'm a broadcast journalist, really, by degree and by trade. So it's first before anything else. But I don't write as much now. Sometimes every now and then I'll write like a huge article, but I usually write to my on camera stuff. So if I did, I'm more on camera. So if I interview somebody, then I'll write the article to go with it. But so it just depends on your role.
Okay. And so like for the PR part, what exactly, because a lot of people have questions about this, myself included, because I think I know, but I feel like I don't know. And I feel like my interpretation of a PR is basically what an A&R is, but for TV. But can you go ahead and really give us a breakdown as to what a PR, a public relations specialist, does? Or public relations manager. What do you guys do exactly?
Well, so Publicist is like the title of the role. PR is what we do. Okay. So I think that gets confused a lot too, because you'll hear people like, I hear all the time, especially from artists, and people like, they'll tweet, I need a PR. And I'm just always laughing, like, how did it get so far around the world incorrectly? Like, how is it stated? But as from a publicist, we garner publicity for like our clients, and we also manage. Sometimes we have to manage fires and put them out, and how they're represented to the public, and then scheduling, like creating moments, but also scheduling out the press, reaching out, pitching, finding creative angles to get picked up. And part of it is angle, because you could reach out to an outlet you never worked with before, and they may automatically be interested. A lot of it's relationships. It is relationships, because you got to think these outlets get hit up by a zillion people. Okay. People who found their email or whatever be the case to see that they work with said outlet. So they get so many pitches. So a lot of it is all based off relationships, because a relationship can get your client featured or covered that may not even be mainstream bubbling just off of that relationship.
So a good
talent often prevails too, but talent is kind of hard when it's still a lot of talented people being pitched.
So a good PR has a lot of relationships.
Yeah, relationships are Essential for Publicist.
Oh, and so wait, I just did it again. You literally just talked about it, and I said, okay.
It happens a lot. It's so funny. All of us laugh because we see it all the time. We see people post it, asking for it. We see people reaching out. It seems almost impossible to correct everyone. Even if we did a seminar, it's not going to reach everybody. Even if we did so it's just so we always laugh at how it's spread around everywhere.
It's like the S on Joe Buttons. Like his name is Bud Didn't. But the streets gave you that S and you're gonna stay with that S. So it's Joe Buttons. And it's just one of those
people
things.
Say it happens all the time.
When should one get a publicist, do you think?
When they have something going on that could be able to possibly get publicity. I mean, we can create publicity around anything, but I would say just make sure you are coming to the table with something that we should garner press around and when you have a budget.
Okay. What's the budget like? How does that work for pricing and stuff like that?
It varies. It's hard because it just depends on the agency, it depends on the publicist, depends on what they charge, how long they've been in the game. So I really don't even have a ballpark to give because it varies, but it's not a shoestring budget. So you can't. I'll tell you what it's not. It's not $200 and $500.
Okay. She's like, I'm gonna tell you what it ain't. All right. So let me just start at the bottom.
I hope people can take that away and then govern themselves accordingly.
And so, talking about your upbringing. So, first of all, your mom was a journalist, correct?
Yes.
And shout out to you because I tried to find her name and I can't. So I don't know.
Her name is Diana Davis.
Diana Davis. Okay, cool. I was like, and I be digging. Like I do real. Like I can find everything. And like I give me about 40 minutes, and I can. Okay, got it. Like, I couldn't find anything. Okay, and so shout out to Miss Diana. Right? You said
Diana.
Shout out to Miss Diana. How do you? I read that she would get you like backstage passes and stuff and tell you don't come back without a story. So number one, shout out to your mama because I like the fact that happened at a young age because it allows you to not be impressed by stardom or money or anything. I've been around it. I don't give a damn about your Lamborghini. Nigga, talk to me. Answer the question. You know what I'm saying? Like I appreciate that. But like how did her role modeling her career give you kind of like a blueprint for yours?
And what's so funny is I always tell this story. I don't think I realized like how cool she was until I was older. I wasn't thinking about her. With mothers and daughters, you don't always get along. Right. And sometimes when you're so much alike, the same side of the magnet repels.
Right.
So she used to run me crazy. So I wasn't really and I was bad. I had perfect grades. I had perfect grades, but I was off the chain. In high school. So it was both of us, but I don't think I didn't understand how cool she was until I was older, and how creative she is, and like when I used to shoot and edit video, my mom be shooting and edit video at the same time. We made it on our own. Like she sometimes to this day she might put me on a software or something she's discovered.
Really?
She's like. Yeah, and then she's mentored children that want to go into journalism for a long time. So sometimes she the kids be like, Miss Davis, how you know that? How you know that? So sometimes my sister and I still have to like coach her. She knows how to do everything, but she just got Instagram on her phone yesterday. We don't get it. Like, she knows how to do everything, but we download the app, go to the app store. So she's still old school a little bit, but so I don't think I realized that I was older because. Even though sometimes people be right in your own backyard, I was looking at Donnie Simpson. I was looking at Sherry. I was looking at AJ and Free. I was looking at Barbara. Barbara Walters, Diane Sawyer, Larry King. So when I met Larry King, when I got older, I was like, oh my God. When I met Oprah, like, of course. I was like, oh my God. So I was looking at the people on TV. And I was a radio kid. Was listening to Power 98, recording that's back when you had a little system you could record the radio on the tapes, you hear your stuff you want to, and into the CD, you go buy the CD and the cassette. I was so extra, I would go buy both. Because obviously the CD costs more, but I like the way both of them. I like the way both of them look. And the CD store we used to go to was pricey, so I ran through my parents' pockets. I don't even think Kids today would never understand that like a CD could cost $20.
Right. I remember that. Like I never really thought about the price of a CD until you said it. Like that.
Depending on where you bought the CD from.
Right. That was
if you got it for $13.99 somewhere,
right. The singles was like $6. If like it was interesting. Like wow.
Through my parents' pockets because I had every magazine, every poster, every CD cassette. So she would get us press passes for like middle school and high school, and I'd be backstage lit. And then I feel like I look my age now, but I feel like for whatever reason I was mature, and some people thought I looked older when I was younger. Mm-hmm. So I'd be backstage, just being nosy, all in people's faces. Like people was worried about B2K. I like Tank. Like when I was a kid, I didn't like B2K. I always go on record and say this. So I always tell him the story about Maybe I Deserve back in that time. I mean, I used to be obsessed with music videos, like obsessed. And I used to be obsessed with album inserts. That's why it was a natural progression to what I do now because I was studying who did what, who wrote, who produced, who sung, the line notes. So I got off on a tangent. I didn't really pay attention to her as much until I got older and looked back.
Okay.
I was studying more so the people who we deemed to be stars, like or we saw on our social media.
What is some advice that you would tell someone who's trying to get into this business? Like, what's the keys to that? And do you have social media rules of engagement?
Let's see. Be relentless in the pursuit of your dreams, but also be tactful. Like, be respectful. Just step back and think. I think a lot of people lack etiquette and tact. They're just like, oh, I want you to hear my single. I want to work with you. Oh, I get so many DMs that I'm a really nice person. So I get so many DMs that's like, did you say hello?
Right.
Why should I want to hear your song just because you think I need to hear your song? Why should I want to interview you just because you said you need to interview me? If you're in college, intern some more. Interns are going to be a great foundation. You might get a job in that building from that, or you may be able to take that experience and get a job somewhere else. Network your ass off. Network because relationships are paramount in this business. Develop tough skin, and I understand that everybody is not going to rock with you. You're not going to be everybody's cup of tea. People will pretend to rock with you to make the relationship transactional or try to see what they can get from you.
Exactly.
Have tough skin. Don't be naive. Work extremely hard. Network. Plan out things. I like to write things down. Execute. Study your craft. Study the people you aspire to be like. And sometimes people are focused on the wrong thing. They're trying to focus to get to the artist or the celebrity or whoever. You need to be networking with the gatekeepers. Mm-hmm. Those people you need to talk to. And also build out a team and align yourself with like-minded and somebody else called me. Mm-hmm. Align yourself with like-minded individuals that are on the same path as you. Because sometimes people they're trying to reach the high up fruit, but y'all need to be building with the people on the same level with you.
Network across is what Issa says. Like, she told me that. If she said that, I watched that video and I thought completely different about the way that I interact with certain people and certain things. I think about it like networking across is like if you're building a house, the house needs a foundation. So if you network across, you're always going to make sure that the bottom part of this is fine. If anything goes back down, you can always start from the bottom and build up. But starting from the top and going down is unlikely. Do you get nervous still or no?
Very rarely. Every now and then I get a teeny bit of butterflies or tingle. I'm not going to say that. But sometimes I take a shot.
Okay. Ain't nothing wrong with a little liquid courage. Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Not really. These days, not really. But every now and then it might be a little bit of excitement, anticipation. But then this is the best part of it all. So as an adult, even when I'm nervous, it does not compare to the nervousness when I was a child. So I've never been shy ever in my life. Like, I think I came out the womb talking. Like, for perspective, I gave my graduation speech in 5th grade. Like, I was on the news in elementary school. In middle school, I was on the dance team. We performed at graduation, and I gave a speech in middle school. In high school, I was on homecoming court 3 times in a row. They couldn't stand me. College, I was on the homecoming court of college and in every organization. So my dad was like, again? He was like, can you find somebody somebody else to escort you? Like, no, Dad, it's the homecoming of college. Like, he had been doing so much escorting all my life. I look such a mess. Like, I can't even share those pictures. Like, I hate looking back, and I'm like, I look such a mess on home court. But I was on the homecoming court of UNC Chapel Hill. Mm-hmm. Like, sometimes I forget how monumental like that is. Like, what? Like, I've never been shy. So when I was younger, I used to get butterflies before I go up to the podium, and I don't know what I would say to myself. But I'm like, all right, we're gonna get through this. And so once I got to the first line, like, you know how we have to do speeches for your paper and all that stuff, your projects in school. Once I get to the first line, I'm gonna be gone. I'm gonna be okay.
Mm-hmm. Who are 3 people you would want to interview that you haven't interviewed, and why?
This is a good question.
I know.
And I'm like, I'm like, who's still living? Because everybody I want to talk to is no longer with us.
Living or dead?
Oh, okay. I mean, Oprah and Gail have been stressing me out lately, but I would still love to talk to Oprah. She was obviously one of my influences. I always wanted my own show. So she's incredible. I've met her twice. I think that would be phenomenal because she's always on the other side. She's typically the one doing the interviewing.
Right. I love to interview the interviewers because people like talking to me, and I realized at a young age I could get anybody to goddamn talk. That was the number one thing with my teachers. It's like, we tried putting him near quiet people. He gets them to talk. Like, I've always been able to do that.
So I've covered Beyonce. I've met Beyonce twice. That's the only person I think I slick fanned out on accident. But she gave me a hug and shook my hand, and I was just like shaking, like, and I'm short, so she's tall, and I'm like, what? Y'all could have gave me time. Somebody could have told me. Y'all could have gave me time to prepare that this lady was gonna be here.
Right.
I was about to leave through the regular door. They walk in. Her and Jay-Z walked through the trap door. I mean,
where was you at?
Swiss Beats surprise birthday party that Alicia Keys threw.
Okay.
So it was
Slight flex. I just want to take in the value of that statement. Like, you know, Swiss Beats surprise birthday party that Alicia Keys threw.
But God and a connection. And I couldn't even reach my connection at the time because I ain't had his number. Mm-hmm. He saw me at his birthday party, or he saw me somewhere else earlier that week, and he was like, yo, like, come on, Swiss having a party. But he is like the connection. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, oh my God, I look through my email. Like, at the time, like, we had a relationship. I just didn't have his cell phone number, which is crazy. So he didn't forget to put me on the list. And then you got to be with somebody who's patient and understanding, because I don't really do a lot of things with people outside of the industry other than my sister and my best friend, because they understand. You ever brought somebody somewhere who's not in the industry that, or maybe a groupie or impatient or just don't understand how to move in a situation? It's like you gotta relax.
Yeah. Like I usually play the mentor role in that. Like when we were at Afropunk. I don't know if I should tell this story because fuck it. So like I bought general admission tickets and was backstage for 2-3 days at Afropunk, and I brought somebody else with me. He was my assistant. And I always tell people, I learned this a long time ago, if you act like you're supposed to be there, ain't nobody gonna question whether you're supposed to be there. But you can't teach that. That is something that is innate, and it has to be, you either got it or you don't. And I realized again, I had it a long time ago. So I mean, like, for
a lot of people haven't had the experiences that we've had.
Exactly.
So that's another thing. I was in New York for Fashion Week, and a friend of a friend was out with her camera, like, and it's just tact. If you like slick, there's sometimes time and place.
Facts.
Girl was standing out, and I was like, sometimes you have to debrief people. You have to have that pre-talk. You have to like, look, you may not do this, but I have to say this to you.
Right.
So
you sound like me right now. Oh my God.
I mean, I don't know why. I mean, now that they came, it made sense because of the relationship. But we didn't know that they were coming. And this is a very, very, very private party. So my friend forgot to put my name on the list. This is a true story. Hilarious. He forgot to put my name on the list. I'm like, we always communicate through email. Always love to see each other at the event. He had one job. And I know, I think at the time I couldn't have had his number because it was like common sense text call. I couldn't have had his number. I know I couldn't have. So I'm nervous because I'm like, if when he come through, he gonna be coming through with Swiss. So I don't really want to stop the parade. Like, I don't want to stop the entourage. Like,
right.
It could be like, oh, hold on, I got you, I'm coming back out situation. Or it could be like, he could forget, get in. And he's a stand-up guy. He could have got in and forgot. So then I thought on my feet. This is God. This was God. I thought on my feet, come on, I'm already out here, and it's gonna be legendary. Like, they're gonna have to tell me no to the million power because I'm out here.
Facts.
I'm out here.
Facts.
And I brought somebody else. We didn't even come together. So when we get in, so this girl who was at the door she was like sometimes you need people who are stern, but she was very dismissive. So once she told me that the name wasn't on the list at the time, she no longer would talk to me. She just turned her back, was very stone. So I'm like thinking of my email. So I go on my email and find somebody else in the situation. By God's grace, an email from probably 3 years prior. The number was in there. And I'm like, it's probably a cell phone number. It's probably not an office number because you can use a tel. I call them. They work it out. Get me in. I'm about to leave because it was so private. I felt uncomfortable. Like, it was like, because you get in there. It was like a family affair. Like it was some legendary execs like Jimmy Iovine.
Okay.
I can't remember if Sylvia Ron was there. I feel like Sylvia Ron was there.
Okay. Some
legendary executives, but it was like so private and so small. At first I was a little nervous. And I was like, oh, this is dope. I saw them come in, but I was like, why would you leave this? I don't know what I was thinking back then because I love legendary stuff. I love celebrating our legends. Right when I was thinking about possibly leaving, my friend was right. If I wasn't talking to her, 5 minutes could have thrown me off the missing Beyonce and Jay-Z. Mm-hmm. And I've spoken to before. I had met like Jay when I was in college and Beyonce in 2012. So it had been a long gap. And I was just like, I was in awe. I was like, it did the fan out thing on accident because I didn't even expect it. It's like the door opened. It was like boom, and it was like walking by me, and I was like, other than that. I want to talk to B. So I got way off on a tangent. I want to talk to
Oprah, Beyonce. Who's
it's only 3 people?
Just do 3. Top 3.
Well, no, because
3.
No.
3.
Well, I'm gonna take the Carters as a package deal. So
okay.
That's 2. No, I'm gonna give 4 because I can't do this. Because we got Whitney, we got Michael, we got Pop, Biggie. Just them alone. We got Aaliyah. Just them alone. Not even to mention all the other greats. I'm a music person. I want to talk we got to dig Roger Troutman up. I want to talk to him. Like, Luther is no longer here with us. Like, I'm mad. I was excited for Pop Smoke. I was super excited. Like, I was at Nipsey Hussle's Grammy party and never got a chance to interview Nipsey. So, but I know it's hard when you have to, the whole point is making it hard to narrow it down to 3 people. I know. So, okay. So
but you listed 7. So.
Dang. This is too hard.
Even when I give you the Carters as a package deal.
Oh my God.
I can make the Carters one person.
The Carters a package deal?
I get, yes. So that's.
That's still hard. Okay, so Oprah, the Carters. But that's hard because you asked me to choose between Whitney and Michael.
Yeah, you gotta pick one. That's the point.
I'm gonna do Michael. I'm gonna do Michael, and I'm gonna invite Whitney over. So
spoken like a true publicist, ladies and gentlemen. Always figure out a way.
I'm gonna invite Whitney over. Because Remember the Time is my favorite song and video ever. So when I met Teddy, when I met John Singleton, when I met Fatima, it was a really exciting moment. Hey, I didn't get to meet Michael. Rest in peace, John Singleton. Rest in peace, Michael. And seeing Teddy play it. I've seen Teddy play it a million times, but seeing Teddy play it at the end when they broke IG and they had to split up their screens. Yeah. Seeing him play it at the end just made me so happy.
I think the last question I got for you is
you gotta edit out some of my cussing because I'm a Gemini, so sometimes it comes out too much.
Okay. What was the thought process behind plan to succeed, seek to inspire? Your quote. I like that quote.
I used to post quotes a lot. I don't know what it was, a huge trend. I feel like on Twitter too. I don't know if it's still there. I don't really go with trends. So if I want to post my music, and ain't nobody posting music no more. If I want to post my quote, y'all gonna get this quote. And you can pour from, a lot of times in my life, I poured from an empty cup. Like I was going through stuff that people never really knew. And I was always big and speaking life into people and encouraging people to do their dreams. And so I think people succeed and then they become flashy, and especially our people, we gotta do better. I think some of our people just talk down, like, "Oh, I got it." Yeah, I got it. You don't. I got it. You broke. I think we should build a longer table and not a taller wall. Yeah. I think we should reach back. I think we should pay it forward. That quote just came. Always plan to succeed. Like, believe you're gonna succeed. Make sure it happens, but seek to inspire and do it for the right reason.
There's a lot in that. So it's like I read the words and I'm like that because I'm a person that has like over 472 quotes on my Evernote. So like I'm a person that appreciates words. So I'm just gonna flex. I was in the top like 15 or it was something like either I had the 17th highest score in the state or I was in the top 10th percentile for reading and language comprehension in the state of North Carolina. So I like words. And so huh?
You from North Carolina?
My mom is. I spent my high school there. I went to high school there, and I lived in North Carolina from like 16 to 23. So yeah, I spent some time there.
What city?
Raleigh.
Nice.
There's Carolina questions coming up, so just you wait. But yeah, so because I asked Richie the same questions and my boy Jay Kitts, I was like, y'all from Carolina? I'm a Carolina boy too, so there are, there will be questions, but no, like I said, yeah, I like that quote because I was like, ooh, that's got some depth to it, some weight.
Where did you see it?
One of your older interviews, I think. The Sheen one? Yeah, that's what I saw.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay, yeah. And so now, as promised, the fun Carolina trivia, that's what I like to call it. So, all right. There are a set of 3 questions that I have. There are no wrong or right answers, but they're all wrong answers. So I'm just saying and put that out there. First one is Cookout or In-N-Out?
Cookout. In-N-Out is trash. And
Right.
Cookout has evolved to be trash. I feel like they changed the recipe of the Hush Puppies back in high school. They used to be just everything.
They were good.
The milkshakes will always be for everything.
Legendary.
I've tried the burgers 5 million times over, and it's not going to hit for me. It don't taste good.
What, for the Cookout or In-N-Out?
Cookout. The burgers, I want the burgers to be good. It's just salty. It's just not right.
You don't go to Cookout. You don't go to Cookout for like the top quality. I feel like you go to Cookout for the quantity and
the deal, absolutely. But I want it. I wanted it to taste good,
and
I just
barbecue
tried.
sandwich. That barbecue sandwich with coleslaw. Oh my!
How?
How?
I'm glad I'm not from LA. LA people get mad at me all the time. In-N-Out is trash. Like LA,
it's not trash.
It's trash,
but it's not the best thing since sliced bread.
It's not. It's trash. It is the alpha and the omega, the beginning and the end. The epitome of trash. It's trash. It don't taste like nothing. Then people be lined up.
Next question. Wait, do you know what Smithfield's chicken is?
I've heard of it, but I don't think I've had it.
Damn. Because the next question was Roscoe's versus Smithfield's chicken.
I haven't had it. Where's Smithfield's base?
I think it came from Smithfield. Because I know it's like 3 or 4 in Raleigh. And I think I've seen like maybe 1 or 2 in Charlotte.
I'm just mad in 2020 and things are regional. Like sweet tea is still regional.
Of course.
Other than IHOP and McDonald's, I think. Then what else is regional? Everything. Like I want Bojangles. I'm from Charlotte. I want all Bojangles over here. Mm-hmm. We don't have Zaxby's.
Okay, wait. We're gonna amend the second question because there's no Smithfield. Zaxby's or Roscoe's?
Roscoe's.
Really?
I love Zaxby's. I know, because it's like sit down. Well, Roscoe's is like sit down with chicken and waffle though. Zaxby's, you gotta say what you should have said is Zaxby's versus what they got out here. Dang, what they got out here. You should have said maybe like Raising Cane's. They don't even have a lot of that. Only Raising Cane's, that's how I was way out of Costa Mesa. What else they got out here? They got something out here. No, they don't got nothing. They don't.
That's the point. Like, that's why I was like, I tried to make it like, because originally
I really miss Zaxby's a lot.
Originally, I was gonna say it was gonna be Cookout versus American Deli, and then I was gonna
American Deli. They're gonna shoot me in my foot, but American Deli is overrated.
It is.
I don't subscribe to wing spots like that. If they got packaged dressing, I don't want it. If I gotta peel the little thing off of the dressing, no. I need the real blue cheek chunky like Hooters. I don't subscribe to them little wings, but I don't. That's not my ministry.
All right, so it was supposed to be 3 questions, but I don't know. We just So okay, last Carolina question: Bojangles or Popeyes?
Bojangles. I know people
that
love Popeyes.
That is the right answer. That is the right answer.
I'm gonna tell you a fun fact. As much as I'm obsessed about Bojangles, I don't eat the chicken. I haven't had like a chicken box, like a leg, wing, thigh.
Oh no, you don't go to Bojangles for the chicken. You go to Bojangles for the chicken biscuits. That's what you go for.
Okay, as long as I ain't tripping.
And the fries and the tea.
And the fries, also the biscuits, the breakfast biscuits. Mm-hmm. But I don't eat like I haven't had since childhood. As many times I go to Bojangles, I've never pulled up and be like, yo, let me get a 6-piece.
Or you get the 4-piece supreme dinners. The chicken tenders. What?
The sleeper is the buffalo bites. Now they changed the name to roasted chicken bites. It's grilled, boneless.
Oh, I know what you're talking about because I used to have it in a bowl.
I don't like boneless wings, but these little pieces of chicken.
That bowl was good. Now I don't eat meat anymore, but I live in the memory and the dream.
If I had the money, I would franchise. I would have a Bojangles over here.
Mm-hmm. I live in the money and the dream. I really do.
I really want the Bojangles over here.
But yes, that was the right answer because I think I asked Lil Richie, and I think. Don't quote me. I asked somebody something. I can't remember if it was Kits or it was Richie. What did Richie say? I think he chose Popeyes or something. I said, son, that was the wrong answer. Like, I don't know. That was like, I know I said there was no wrong answers, but that was the wrong answer. I just want you to know that.
And I like Popeyes, but yeah, I'm gonna have to go. Popeyes seems to be more flavorful, but I'm gonna have to go with the OG. I'm gonna have to go like the hometown hero.
I don't even feel like Popeyes is more flavorful with the chicken. I feel like Bojangles has inherent spices. Like the chicken is in, like the spices are in the batter. Versus
it is now. Yep.
So,
and I haven't had it so long, but I can see the redness in it.
Popeyes ain't got that. Now, there's something to be said for Popeyes in New Orleans versus Popeyes everywhere else.
They always say that.
It's a fact.
They always say that.
Different. It tastes different. I'm going to stamp that. I've been to New Orleans many times. It tastes different.
And as many times I've been to New Orleans, like for Essence and stuff, my friends always say, everybody says that.
It tastes different. It tastes better.
Wow.
It tastes way better. It does. So next time you go to New Orleans, try Popeyes. So I think the last question I have for you, final question of the interview, do you have a Corona bae or quarantine boo?
I don't, and it's been real lonely. And you know what? I didn't realize how fake hard singleness and fake celibacy is until quarantine hit. Because I was like, I do this on a regular. My bae is like the stores. I run errands and be shopping, and I'm so busy that I'm so big. I'm not a lonely person. And that's a thing. People got to learn how to not be lonely and to love themselves. When you love yourself as much as me, and I've never struggled with insecurities, praise God. I've never struggled with some of the things, low self-esteem, some of the things I hear people that are real things for other people. I've never been lonely. Even in college, I feel like that was fake loneliness. It's like in college, you're so used to being around people that you think you got to have a guy over. Woo, woo, woo. I am so busy that I don't have time. I'm behind. I took a couple days off. I went on Corona vacation, and I did not deserve. I don't know if I deserved. I didn't have enough time for as much time as I took off.
Okay.
And now I'm sitting here still trying to get back. I'm back on the right track mentally, but I don't even know where to start. I took so many days off. I went on Corona vacation. I've been off.
Sometimes that's needed.
Ain't
no better, and it ain't no better time than right now. Too.
And when was we ever gonna get a time like this, right?
Right.
When was we going? So I took about 2 months off quietly. But I had.
She took the whole Corona off.
I still been doing PR, but I ain't been working on me. I mean, the bare minimum of working on me is IG Live. So I have been interviewing people here and there. And I'm trying to give myself some credit because you feel like, yeah, I ain't do nothing. I just hit live. I just scrolled over and hit live. But I mean, it was still a big thing for me because I've been doing so much for other people. So I have been putting myself on the back burner. And all those ideas, the names of the segments I had written out for years. So conceptually, concepts that I had conceptually that I wanted to do, I had them written down. And I was like, oh, I ain't got to call a videographer. I ain't got to have no outfit. I ain't got to go to the venue. I ain't got to Uber. I ain't got to drive today. What excuses do you have? Girl, you better go live. Yeah. So those are the only things I've been doing. And I've been beating up on myself. I told my mom about 5 times. I probably repeated myself 5 times to my mom yesterday because I feel like I'm mad at myself for taking too much time off. I feel like I should have picked up a book. Maybe it's an ebook. Maybe learn a skill. Research something. I think the productivity one was real.
It is.
Don't push it on everybody. But as for me in my life, I think I need to come out with something else. and strategize for the next. But also, it's important to come out with your sanity. Your sanity is really important. So I think both. I feel like it was balanced. Both. Somehow with your sanity is really important because people losing their jobs, people losing family members.
And everybody deals with things differently. You know what I'm saying?
Like, you can push the narratives on everyone.
Right. And everybody don't deal with stress and work harder. Some people deal with stress and be like, no, nigga, I'm stressed and I would like a break.
Yes. And I think people are so insensitive sometimes when they put things out. Right. And they're guilting people when it could have been worded differently. Like, hey, you guys, maybe if you can, use this time to whoop, whoop, whoop. But people are just... Absolutely. Our society, especially us, our people,
I will say, and it's something to the... It's something to the American condition of like, I don't know how much of abroad you've been, if you've been abroad, but like I personally have spent a great deal of time not here. And our way of life is very draining. It's work, money, buy. So it's like, I feel like, especially during this time, I was talking to a couple of other people about it. Like, it's time to slow down and reflect. And I'm like, if you're financially sound enough to slow down, you are looking at shit like, well, damn, what was I getting my nails did for? What was I getting my hair did for? Why am I getting these shape ups? Why am I buying these J's? Like, will you really have time to take inventory of the shit that is like superfluous and completely unnecessary in life? And it's like, you're really I really feel like, if 45 don't burn this country down to the ground, which, I mean, shit happens. If that doesn't happen, this entire country is going to come out completely different. Because it's just too much not going on. And too many, like, it's the one time Americans have had time to self-reflect and be introspective. And probably ever. So
people, I can think, I train myself to see the positive in every situation. I like to look for the silver lining. People who have never got a break.
Exactly.
Creatives are creating. Like, some people for their work schedule, and I hate the financial strain it's putting on a lot of people, but these people are spending time with their families. Right. Music has been the savior of all of this. Yes. Music. Yes. I mean, we've got some epic living room concerts. The Versus battle is phenomenal. I love music so much that that has just poured into me. Like, that's my highlight. I'm excited for all the musical things that have been happening. I'm just glad people got a break. Yeah. I feel like I don't know if you're familiar with Passport Cuddy, but I did a live yesterday. You should watch this place because you asked about the quarantine, babe. She calls herself an unconventional life coach, and she's really, really funny. I love her so much. I've always been wild, and I'm a wild Gemini. So I love that people know the professional side more. If you went to college and high school, you probably know both sides, but I like that once I hit industry, it's a good problem to have. People think, oh, professional, she knows her shit. But I do have a wild side, and what I like about Passport Cuddy is she's authentic, she's true to herself, she talks about taboo topics, she says what she thinks out loud, and it's oftentimes perceived as controversial. So she has a book, and it's called The M in Man is for Money. So that alone tells you she is very entertaining, and it's hilarious. And I was talking to her, and I was thinking, I've been on my friends have had me on Steve Harvey. They wanted me to do a Bachelorette show before. I don't know. I had this running joke that I might end up by myself, and that is completely okay because I don't have patience. These men out here be playing games. I don't meet a lot of new people. I know so many people that I feel like when I'm out at industry stuff, I know the same people. So people are like, oh, if you want to date, you have to go outside of the industry. But I don't even know where to begin, like what I would want to do, where I would want to go.
If you are in this, and I'm not saying just entertainment, I will say the entertainment entrepreneur enclave, because the two often overlap. If you are on that side of the fence, finding someone on the other side of the fence that gets what you do and is okay with it and can kind of sympathize with it and kind of, it's rare. So that's why a lot of times like creatives, entrepreneurs, entertainment other creatives, because it's just, you get it. You just get it. You just get it. And so it's like, or you have to find somebody that is not in the industry, but is industry adjacent, like an entertainment lawyer or a intellectual property manager, something like that. You know what I'm saying? You have to find somebody that's not in the industry, but industry adjacent. So, they don't know exactly, they get what you do and they get it enough to give you space, But you can work with them and they can work with you. That's how I feel it's got to work, because any other way, it doesn't really mesh. What's next for Miss Rhea Davis?
I want to have my own TV show, and I'm working on more TV correspondence. I wanted my own show since I was a little girl. So I've been a couple of friends of mine have been talking to different companies, and whether it's going to be digital or go straight to TV, and just really try to find a platform that can host it. I want to do more TV.
How is Corona? Is that making it? Because I know Hollywood is shut down. So
everything's in LA is kind of shut down, except the grocery stores, the Targets, all that. So I don't really know what's going on. So that's why I've been trying to get back on track so I can be ready for when this opens.
It picks back up. Exactly. I feel you.
So I want to do more TV correspondence because I've done a lot of guest correspondence, but it's been I feel like a string of one-day experiences. So, but the thing that's tough about it is there's a few spots. And when people get in those spots, they stay there for a long time because it's your dream. It's your dream job. I mean, you see, we didn't lose Joan till she left the earth. Like, that's your dream job. Like, where are you going? Where are you going? You're going to change networks, but you're not.
Right, but you're not going to stop doing what you do. Like that.
So then I need to do my due diligence on agencies, because a lot of people are represented by agents. But then you got to find an agency that actually wants you. And then my weight fluctuates, and we are seeing some full-figure women today. But it's like a token person. So... So finding an agency that wants me, continue to diversify the content and do other stuff, because sometimes when you might be killing it in an urban space, they might feel like you're too urban. Right.
I always say, if you don't have a lane, you could always pave your own. But but the danger in that comes with trying to reinvent the wheel. I feel like people get caught in that, and it's like
it's hard because it's like you're trying to find what's gonna make you different, what's gonna make you stand out, and then. My biggest regret is I did so much for other people over the years, and it kind of helped me still make who I am. But I've had a YouTube page for years, right? I used to put things on there for storage. But just the fact that, just like I was uploading things for storage, I could have started my channel a long time ago. And look how I would have been able to grow it. Look how I would have been able to monetize it. Look at these influencers. Look at these YouTube couples, all this stuff. And I was like, part of me believes you got to start now and use what you have. But the other part of me believes, and I'm not even a negative thinker, the other part of me still feels like, girl, you missed that wave. Like, girl, getting subscribers and all that stuff is so hard. Yeah, it is. Getting new followers on one platform can be hard sometimes. Consistency is great and putting out great content. But I've seen people have a viral moment or somebody else co-sign them and their followers go up. And I've also seen people put out great, consistent content and their followers, they barely get 2 followers. So it's like, it's also, unless people love you, it's hard to get people to migrate over to other platforms. Something as simple as going over there and clicking subscribe. Pulling teeth.
It's what was I gonna say? It's me and my friend talk about this all the time. No matter how good you are, because me and him had this conversation like maybe 6 months ago, and I didn't understand what he was saying until I kind of like more fully stepped into this that I'm doing now. He's like, it doesn't matter how good you are, you're gonna need a cosign. And it's like, he's like, and that's what trips me out is that I'm this, I'm that, but I still, at the end of the day, my work can only go so far without a specific cosign from someone else. And I was like, friend, that ain't true. And now I'm like, friend, that's true. I'm like, friend, but I mean, like, that's just, I feel like that's just the way of the world. So it's just like, I think it's just like, you have to, in my mind, it's just like you're saying, stay ready. Like, you know what I'm saying? Just make sure make sure your resume is on point. And it's just a combination of being ready. Like, you know what I'm saying? For when that thing does pop. So you can be like, yo, well, I mean, I'm here and I got the resume to prove that I can do what the hell I've been doing successfully. So it was good. Thank you, Ms. Rhea, for coming on.
Thank you.
Got anything else you want to know?
That's it right now, because those are the 2 things that mean the world to me. So more correspondence and eventually get my show going.
So yeah, that's it. But like I said, thank you, Ms. Rhea.
Thank you. Have a good day.
You too. And we out.
Bye.
Bye. And ladies and gents, that's it. Thanks so much for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed the convo. If you want to be a guest on the show, or you know somebody that might be a good guest for the show, go ahead and send an email over to me. That's jc@theovt.com. Once again, that is jc@theovt.com. This podcast is available on Apple, Spotify, and Anchor, so don't forget to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment. And all of our content is now available on YouTube. We got video interviews, we got audio interviews, and original content, all on the channel. Just type in the OVT Network and hit subscribe. Stay sane, stay safe, stay creative.